Hello everyone, my name is Elise Muller. I am very proud to be on the autism spectrum and speaking to you today about my experience with hyperfocus. To start with, what it would be helpful for me to explain is that as an athlete, as a student in school, and as an employee in the workforce, the way that I found environments are structured is to have someone be able to switch on their focus, to take breaks and switch off when prompted, and to be able to switch from task to task. And this has been consistent from when I've been in school as a student and even as an athlete and working. In school, an example would be, we'd have week 1 and week 2 on one topic, week 3 and 4 on the other topic, and so on. And by the end of the term, you then have an exam. And I was definitely competent in being able to do each of those topics at that time. However, in the exam, on the piece of paper, you might have anywhere to 6 different topics where you needed to then shift from one task then to the other topic and to the other topic. And while other people could go through the whole exam, I would spend a bulk of the time just trying to process that change. I've been able to utilize my hyperfocus to be able to spend incredible amounts of time practicing sport. And I probably wasn't very good at the beginning, but in an accessible environment such as my backyard, I was able to just pretty much stim and do repetitive movements of lots and lots of handballs for hours and hours, lots of kicks, lots of running, and be able to push my body to extreme discomfort and pain, and just not see that as a priority because of the black and white rule of, I need to do this, I must do that, and that hyperfocus. And that's been a strength that has been able to get me to play at a high level. It's also been a weakness, but then not so much of a problem if the right environment allows for it. So, for example, 2 years ago, I was playing with Western Bulldogs, and the coach would give the down low to the whole team and then turn around to me and say, forget about everything that I just said, which wasn't a problem because I didn't take anything in. They'd say, I just want you to focus on one thing. Now, that task might have been tagging a player. So forgetting about where the ball is, just making sure that this player does not ever get the ball. So I would be able to have complete clarity in just focusing on that one thing. Or if I was a see ball, get ball, had a see ball, get ball role where I was the person that always went in to get the ball if I was playing in the midfield, that's something that I could do time and time again. Going into training, I found that I would come into training really, really exhausted from a day of trying to make myself accessible to the world and be social and not show that I'm getting affected by sensory input and all that. And I would come into training quite tired. Meanwhile, my other teammates would come into training normal. And after 3 hours of training, they would then be like, oh, thank God that's over. Good work, girls. We pushed through it. Can't wait to kick my feet up. Can't wait to rest or want a big meal now. Where by the end of 3 hours of my hyperfocus, I'm completely full of adrenaline and energy, and I am almost ready to start the whole training session again. It's been also a bit of it's been interesting trying to navigate when you've got coaches and trainers that know how the majority of athletes respond well to. For example, giving them encouragement. So when I have my hyperfocus, I don't need someone to say, keep going, keep going. In fact, that's quite a distraction. I never really understood that show Gogglebox, where they were able to watch a show and then comment on it as if they were external. Because for me, I'm either all in or completely separated to a task. And so we'll be doing like a 3K time trial, and I will be focusing, the coach will be saying, keep going, you've got 2 more laps left, or you've got 1 more lap left. And the teammate beside me will be like, oh, thanks. And I just almost get frustrated because while I've been focused on that, I'd then just been distracted by the encouragement and almost need to go like, sorry, what? And then it breaks my hyperfocus. So I'm really excited for the time the time that's coming when the world is becoming a lot more aware of autism and a lot more accessible, because when we are able to create the space for hyperfocus, what's going to happen is that we're going to have more amazing brains and amazing people becoming masters of their craft, experts in their field, and just such loyal and dedicated, committed employees, athletes, and all that. And I really think that everyone else who doesn't have autism is missing out on the best part, which is hyperfocus, because there is no other state quite like it. It's what other people might go to alternative substances to get that natural high, to get that complete euphoria where your whole body is buzzing. Obviously, when it hasn't been managed well by myself, and I've spent 3 days getting something done when I probably should have put it into 3-hour increments. I could get something done in 3 days where someone else might take a week and a half, but that's because I've been doing nothing else for those 3 days but being in front of the computer or doing whatever that task is. What I've found though also is, as an athlete and as an employee, is when I do that, I'm also neglecting other things that I don't at the time see as a priority, and that has left me injured, and that leaves me in a bit of a breakdown state, because as much as my brain works, as much as my brain is in tune with my hyperfocus and I do get the physical sensation through my body also needs rest and sleep, and I might not have been clear on what success means, so I just keep going and going and going. So it's definitely, hyperfocus is definitely the best part of, or in my opinion, of my autism, and it's been something that I've had to learn to understand and be able to articulate, so the right people working with me can give me instructions and make environments accessible so that I can really utilize those strengths and not feel so much of the after effect. Yeah, really excited, and thank you.